What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Lamont's Gym and Custom Knives Show, the number 3 podcast. Where's my hat? I don't have my hat on. Um, I feel naked out my hat. Let me grab it. The number 3 podcast. Sources and resources. Listen, I'm just gonna jump right into this. The subject of this today is sources, for the simple fact I got some information from an individual that for a long time this individual has trusted me, and I have trusted this individual with a lot in life. Something very big happened, and because we have connected in this way before for certain things, this individual felt that, he or she should let me know, just cause. Now, I have nothing to do with this life anymore, but like I said, when you build a rapport with someone for such a long time, the human being, just being a human, we are compelled. We can't hold nothing in. We gotta tell somebody. And this individual thought I was the safest one to tell without really telling, because this individual know this ain't going no further. The buck stopped right here. Now, that's dangerous, and there's a lot of dangers in that. That was dangerous for this individual to tell me, for the simple fact this individual, if this information gets out, this individual can lose his or her job, could be a big scandal. Hell, a small war might be started. But this individual know and trust me, I would die before I spit this to anybody else. It's dangerous because, like I just said, human beings can't hold anything in. We gotta tell somebody. So therefore, if 3 people go rob a bank, do you know who the most dangerous people to that situation is? Those 3 people, because he knew that he robbed that bank. Now, I'm not gonna tell him. This person's not gonna tell on his or herself, but those other 2, they get in trouble, they gonna spit it out. So that's why that is so dangerous. Now let me get back to the point. So, I was told some information. So that's a source. When we were in the trenches, I and this individual, we had sources. If you in law enforcement, they call them snitches, but honestly, to the officer, to the investigator, those are sources. Now, those sources is going to be expecting resources for being a source, but that's part of the game. It reminded me of a situation going back to 2013. 2013 and 2014. My son played high school football, one of the best defensive tackles in the country. His best friend, Rock Thomas, was the number 1 recruit in all the country. He played running back at Oxford, eventually went to Auburn, and I think he finished up at Jacksonville State. Well, from 2013 leading up into 2014, the recruiting process, this is my son's best friend. I see the little boy all the time. Took him to practice, took him to summer workouts, did this, did that, knew his father cool as hell. Now, don't you think, and this is when I first started really deep diving into the sports thing on Twitter. You can go back and look at my stuff. The football guy, 3-time MVP. I think it's under Yeoman3573, I want to say. Go back and look at what I was tweeting, for young men being recruited, reporting on the grades, the progress, etc., etc. Now, don't you think the information I'm putting out, whether whether it was told to me and not to be held in, I'm going here. I'm thinking about this place and this place. Yeah, you can report that. I'm gonna do it. Now I know in a lot of minds, especially back in the day, when you had print media, and you had when you had your CNNs that was brand new and all this, everybody wanted to be the first to get something out. I didn't care about that when I was doing my little Twitter thing. This young man wants to go to UAB. I'm going to tell the world. Now he's going to tell the world. He's got a Twitter account. His coach and their program is going to tell the world. But I'm going to tell the world too. So I go back to the point when Rock Thomas, before he even announced anything, I knew where the young man was going. In the world, everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be Alabama, Auburn, Alabama, Auburn." I already do. And I didn't tell a soul. I didn't put it out on Twitter, but I did get in a conversation on Twitter. And I can't, honestly, God, remember what that was about. But I basically told her, I said, listen, man, I was like, you don't go against someone who's close to the situation, and what you're saying is wrong. Some idiot, I can't remember who he worked for, some recruiting agency named Andrew Bone. This dude come to that conversation in my page and tell me to stop blurting out whatever. Dude, what are you talking about? I don't know you. I don't want to know you. But you can't tell me what I know. The young man is my son's best friend. I know his father. See him every day. I didn't talk to him on every day because he was kind of a quiet, dude. Now he talked to my son and them and kick it with them, but when it comes to adults, he was kind of quiet. But I already knew he was going off. So I said all that to say this: you can't argue or dispute anyone who has credible sources and credible resources. Take it for what it is. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. I used the information that my friend, my Conrad shared with me as a source. I used the situation with my son and his best friend as a source. But I saw, and this was a serious situation, especially when it comes to social media. If you don't know, don't put it out to the world. Especially if you got a little bit of notoriety. Now, if somebody you don't have a profile picture, and you somebody in your mama's basement, nobody really cares about that. But if you got a face and you got a name in the social media world, even if it's a small name, if you don't have a reliable source, a trustful source, don't put your information out there. It's false. It's not good. It's reckoning. And unfortunately, hell, we got free speech in this country, and really, you can't police lies over, the internet. We really don't want to. We don't want our speech taken away from us in this country. You hear about it all over the world. People getting put in jail just for saying or putting out on social media that you love Jesus. People getting put in prison, being fined, and it's crazy. Y'all excuse me. I ate a salad this morning, and I have a little bit of indigestion, and the bacon bits is come. Anyway, you don't want to hear about all that. Just remember, and it's important for us in the law enforcement community, we have to have sources. I'm going to use this example, then I'm going to get the heck up out of here. Go back to In the Heat of the Night, one of my favorite television shows of the 80s and 90s. Loved In the Heat of the Night. The chief, and basically the police department, had resources. And those resources paid for sources. And Jimmy Dawes He was probably the most well-known source, and he wanted resources. I remember when the white supremacist guy, I was supposed to be white supremacist guy, came to Sparta. He wanted to talk at the high school, and it was a big scandal with him, and somebody who was handling part of his campaign was shot. And Jimmy Dawes, he had the smoke. So the chief and the guys in the police department had to go to their source, which was Jimmy Dawes. Now, in return, Jimmy Dawes wanted $5,000 for his source and $1,000 for himself. Lord have mercy, I love it. I love it. That's how you do it. But anyway, let me get on up out of here, guys. I really appreciate you and I love you. This may not be a podcast for everybody. I just thought it was relevant for some, but take it for what it is. I love you and I appreciate you. As I can't even talk. As always, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, you guys stay blessed, and I'll catch you next time.